live from the Quad Cities with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, we are previewing A Little Night Music, a show about hot summer nights, affairs, duels, and true love, coming to Quad City Music Hill this weekend.
And the Buffalo Bill Museum's Wild West show is coming up at the end of the month, while you'll want to secure your tickets now to see the legends of the Wild West in action.
And later, more than 50 years strong, the Snake Alley Art Fair is back in Burlington, Iowa. We get details on the artists and family-friendly activities that bring thousands of visitors to the area each and every year. It is Wednesday, June 5th, and you're watching Quad Cities Live. We're so glad you're here with us today. I'm Kyle Keel.
I'm Morgan Otier. Summer reading programs are underway across our area, and the public library in Silvis, Illinois is pairing that programming with tons of fun, family-friendly activities. Caitlin Lesage and Shanice Payne are back with us today, providing all those details. Ladies, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for being here today. And let's actually start with that, your summer reading program, because that just started this week.
It did. Yeah, we had we're still kind of like getting processing it, but we had a giant kickoff party last Saturday.
Yeah.
Where everyone came in. We had a magician, QC
fun.
around, painting. So everyone came and had a good time.
Yeah, we made some buttons and had some refreshments. We had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, and there's incentives there too. I mean, you know, kids of all ages, adults even, can get involved, and there are different prizes that you can kind of achieve throughout the summer as long as you keep it going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there's different age groups. So from kindergarten to adults, you can participate. So all the prizes in each category are a little bit different. So it's kind of neat. So they're catered to each group. And then when you get a halfway prize, you get like a gift card. And then also there's a finishing prize too.
Very nice.
And you get one for starting up too. So
yep, absolutely.
You got 3 potential prizes there. So along with the summer reading program, you have all sorts of other programs this month and performances that people can partake in.
Yes, this morning we just had our first big performance. We had the Science Center of Iowa. They came to the park with us and did a performance and showed the kids how explosions happen.
Oh, wow.
I mean, what kid doesn't like explosions?
Probably popular.
Yes. And then tomorrow we have all our kids network from every child. They come and do a story time with us and do a craft. We have the therapy dogs, they come. Nahant Marsh will be coming.
Nice.
We've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities to keep the kids' minds active while they're out of school, and fun as well. They sound like a lot of fun for kids.
Yes, everybody, everyone of all ages loves it.
Fabulous. Well, and the library is also celebrating Pride Month with a lot of different ways. So tell us a little bit about that. Bring your little ones to a story time and craft session.
Yes. So with the little ones, we incorporate Pride Month by, I usually read stories about rainbows, like we have our little rainbow sunshine.
A little craft?
Yes.
That's cute.
And then we read books about rainbows. We also read books about different kinds of families so that kids that come from any kind of family can understand and appreciate, you know, and we make different crafts.
Yeah, this one's very cute.
Yeah,
and then what's this one that you brought here?
So this is the rainbow twirler.
Oh, nice.
That's really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
It's satisfying when you're playing around with it.
She plays at the desk with it.
All day.
That's awesome. So how do you make that one?
I can show you real quick.
Oh,
I won't touch it.
Okay.
The last time, the first time I ever filled in on QCL for Jake and Morgan, Caitlin was here, and I ruined her craft on the air, so I won't touch it, Caitlin.
Yes. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. I got everything already kind of cut out. If you come to the program, we provide everything that you need for it. And it's as simple as just paper and glue, pretty much.
Very nice. And so when people come to these different programs, do they need to register ahead of time so you know how much stuff to have prepared?
We actually just did away with our registration.
Really?
Because we felt like it might be preventing people from coming if they don't know how to register.
Oh, sure.
So we just make sure we have enough stuff for the kids programs. It's 20 people.
Okay.
And we're always prepared in case more show up, but Usually we get around 20.
Okay, so she's Caitlin's kind of putting this thing
Yeah.
together for us on the spot right now. But anybody who's watching this, I mean, this looks like an easy enough activity.
It is.
If you do have your kiddos at home and you can't make it to the program, this looks like a fun one an easy one that parents can do with their kids.
Yes. I try to keep it simple in the summer because kids don't want to have to learn too much.
Okay.
So
They're done with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
They are done.
I keep it fun and simple, and
We want to get that sneaky learning in as we talk.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, and Caitlin has a actually sensory bin at our library. So the kids can actually open up the bin and play, and there's just interactive toys in there. She fills it with beans and sometimes switches it out. So
Really?
sometimes once they're done with the craft, they're running to go play at the sensory bin.
The sensory
Yes,
bin.
that's
Yeah,
a
they
big
love it.
favorite. Right now, it's kind of themed towards pride. We've got different rainbow people and rainbow houses, and
That's great.
they can sit there and pick up the beans with all the little tongs and all that. So
Well, the project that you're creating looks great.
Yes.
Yes.
Mine would be a lot messier than that.
Oh, mine would
Mine
be
too. I'm hands off.
If I touch
Kylan
something,
needs her
it's,
hands
yeah,
off.
it's not good.
But Shanice, you guys are also launching the second edition of your
Yes.
Silvis history book. You
This is
actually
cool.
brought a copy with you today. Tell us about the book and why you guys decided to create this.
Yeah, because we just feel like the history of Silvis is just so important to not only the community, but we want to share it to everyone outside of the Quad Cities. So we just finished, it covers from 1906 to 2024. We've updated it with new information, got a new cover on the front and back. But it's just something that we're really proud of to have worked on as a library. And we just got it done in time for our birthday party that we're kicking off on June 24th. So everyone that comes will be entered in for a raffle to win a copy of the book.
Win a copy of the book. People can buy it too,
Yeah.
I'm assuming?
Oh, absolutely. So we do have copies of the book that will be for sale after the birthday party for $25, cash or check only, but those will be for sale anytime you're inside the library.
And like you said, hot off the presses just earlier this week. And I mean, you would be surprised at the history of Silvis. It is a small town, but it is rich with history. So this will be a good book to check out, and hopefully you can get entered in to win that raffle. So, Caitlin, how are we doing with our little rainbow craft over there?
doing good.
Doing
We're
great.
almost done, yeah.
It's gonna fall apart.
More glue, more glue.
Kyle's looking at it. That's what
I looked at it and it's like,
Kyle
nope, I'm done.
can't wait to break it. No. But you guys have all kinds of programming where you do things like this, different craft days and whatnot. And they are all geared toward different ages as well.
Yeah.
So just because you may not have a tiny little one at home anymore, that does not mean you guys don't have stuff going on. You have stuff for teenagers as well.
Yes. We just did one yesterday where we made watermelon sugar scrub, which was a lot of fun.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they loved it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
We try to keep it kind of summer themed.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing macrame mini rainbows. That one's fun. Mine did not turn out very well. That's why I did not bring it.
I tried.
I did not want to bring it. It got hot glued to the plate. So,
Hey, it happens.
we do a lot for teens, and we are getting a pretty good group of teens that come in on a
good.
regular basis.
That's
and
great to hear.
The teens are also really into the summer reading program. There's some cool prizes for them.
Yeah.
It's
love
great
that.
for all ages.
Yeah, you guys have just everything happening.
I mean, as we've learned, each time you come on, there's always something new going on at the Silvis Public Library. And today we've only scaled the surface of everything going on at the Silvis Public Library. So there are a variety of programs for people of all ages. For a calendar of events, you can be sure to visit their website, silvislibrary.org. Caitlin and Shanice, as always, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your craft with us. And
you
again,
did a great job in a very
looks
short
great.
amount of time. So yes, thank you so much. Well, coming up next on Quad Cities Live, we are in the mood for love and mayhem. Quad City Music Guild is here to talk about a hilarious show opening this weekend.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here right lost on the ground, you in midair, send in the clouds.
Well, you have likely heard that song before, but did you know it is from a Broadway musical? And for the first time in decades, it is being performed right here in the Quad Cities. Here to talk to us about the show is Kathy Marsoon with Quad City Music Guild. Kathy, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, excited to talk about this show. Now, the show itself is called A Little Night Music. From what I understand, it is rarely done in the Quad Cities, hasn't been done for some time, but people absolutely adore this show. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, well, it was written by Stephen Sondheim, and Stephen Sondheim is worshipped by the theater community. He is one of our great songwriters in the theater world, and this is one. It's a little more difficult to do because it's a lot of singing, and it requires 14 very strong voices, and we have that, lucky enough to have that here in the Quad Cities, and so we're very proud of the production that and how it's turning out.
Yeah, we do have a really incredible theater community.
Yeah, we do.
Just tons of talent in the Quad Cities. So the plot itself, the storyline itself, what happens there?
Okay, it's a farce, which means everything's a little bit ridiculous.
We like that.
A lot ridiculous, so it's very funny. The main character, Desiree, is an aging actress, and she has lived a full life, and she has two lovers who both have wives, and they are all characters in the show, and then there's a quintet of people that narrate the show and tell us, help move the plot along.
Sure.
But there's a lot of twists and turns in it. Nobody, well, maybe somebody, and the question is who's going to end up with who by the end, and through a series of ridiculousness, they work that out.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
it really does. Let's talk a little bit about you. So Music Guild did this show in the 70s. That would have been right after it premiered on Broadway. It was one of your first shows?
Yeah, one of my first. Yep, I think it was my third year there. I was still just out of high school when we did it the last time, so a long time ago. Yeah. And but yeah, it's one of my favorites. I was brought in. Oh, that's my sister and I. My sister and I started doing costumes when we were in high school still. So this is our 50th year. Connie and I are twins. So we work just about every show now. Connie's in charge of our box office. I'm in charge of our costume shop. Okay. We have been lifelong members. We both met our husbands there. All of our children are involved.
That's
amazing. So it's great. Yeah,
it's a family affair for the family.
For us. Yeah,
yeah, that's fabulous. And you guys have met more family, a chosen family.
Chosen family. Yep, all of our
this.
Best friends are there, and lifelong friends, and new friends every year. So.
Well, and of course, as you just mentioned, you're a costumer. So this show is special in that way. It takes place in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Yeah, right at the turn of the last century, and technically in Sweden, where in the summer, where the sun never sets, so there's perpetual sunset.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of those costumes right now.
Sure.
This is Noelle.
This is Noelle, and she is one of our quintet, and they are the narrators.
Beautiful.
She is wearing a dress that was donated, and I have kind of a short story about that. It came to us through one of our regular customers, Deb, and she has a good friend who lives in the Chicago area, and that good friend's sister was an accompanist for an opera singer, and the opera singer passed away, and her husband gave these 3 beautiful dresses to her. So then it came back to and then to us.
It's journeys.
And now I said it's kind of that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It took about 5 steps for us to get here. And there are 2 others just that are made just like this. One's red and one's purple.
The beading is incredible.
And the costume gods smiled. They fit the 3 actresses we needed them to fit. So they really are beautiful on stage. They sparkle and they're terrific.
Well, Noelle, thank you so much. She looks great. We've got Callan next.
Yeah, and now Miss Callan is also wearing a donated dress. It is totally, it's all lace, and I kept it in the corner of the costume shop because I didn't have the heart to throw it out, but I really didn't think it would ever make it through a show because it is very fine, very delicate. And the lining of it was, when there was a lining in it, and we just basically pulled it out and it came off in shreds, which is why I thought the dress was so fragile, but really the lace is not. So we made her a new pink lining to show off the lace a little bit, and it really is beautiful. And it fits her because she's a teeny tiny thing.
Yes, she is.
And I mean, we didn't have to hem it. And she's less than 5 foot, and because I'm 5 foot.
Yes.
And we didn't have to hem it. We didn't have to do. We put some snaps up the back.
How does it like relate to the character that Callan plays?
Yeah. Okay. She plays a young. She's supposed to be 18 and sweet and innocent.
She looks very
but a
sweet.
little ornery. Yeah. So the white. The white and pink is kind of her signature colors because she's the young one. Doesn't end up so innocent, but I'll let you come see that.
You'll have to come see the show to find
about
that. Okay, let's bring Rachel on and take a look at this beautiful dress.
Okay, Rachel is our Desiree,
Ooh.
and we did make this one from scratch for her. Joanne's luckily had these beautiful embroidered fabrics this spring. And as soon as I saw them, I knew we were going to make something for Rachel, and then another character has another one that's more green. And we just thought it was really beautiful.
It is.
Though, and we actually added this little thing, last minute, little row of things across her bodice to fill that in. And so they applicate it on kind of. And we just thought the fabric was too pretty not to use.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Let's have everybody come back up so we can take at least one last look at how beautiful you all look. And Kathy, describe, the costumers, the folks that come, almost every single night, I'm sure, leading up to a show to make this happen.
Yeah, there were 5 of us that did some sewing on this show, and 2 more who did some hats. And it's really a fun team because we work together, and some people have stronger sewing skills, and some people have strong hot glue skills.
Everyone brings
and
something to
and that's
it.
what I love about community theater in general, is people have different skills, and they all choose to share them to make the show come together in a beautiful way.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. A Little Night Music, again, is what it's called. It opens this Friday with performances on Saturday and Sunday. Then next weekend, Thursday through Sunday, Quad City Music Guild Theater is in Moline. It's at Prospect Park if you've never been there. And tickets are still available if you can believe it. You can get yours by calling the box office at the number on your screen, 309-762-6610, or by visiting the website qcmusicguild.com. Kathy, thank you. Ladies, thank you so much for modeling for us today. You look fabulous. All right, speaking of costumes, you won't want to miss an upcoming event, and it's benefiting the Buffalo Bill Museum in LeClaire, showcasing Victorian-era nightgowns and the stories behind them. We're getting the details on that coming up next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Women's sleepwear during the Victorian era from about 1860 to 1900. It was a taboo topic, of course, but this weekend we can talk about it all we want. Rita Farrow is here from the Buffalo Bill Museum located in LeClaire. Rita, welcome back.
Thank you, Morgan. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you as usual. So there's a really fun event coming up this Saturday. It's all about historic nightgowns. Explain it for us. This is a kind of a women in history event, and we're going to learn a lot.
This has been, and it's been so much fun to do. Carol Keneally is a wonderful speaker who I actually saw at a convention several months ago, and she presented the first Women in History tea that we did was because of her. It was called the Harvey Girls, and you guys had me on. That was wonderful fun, and it was a sold-out full house. So this weekend, our second in our series of Women in History, and it's called Victorian Nightgowns. Yeah. So Carol covers a lot. I mean, at first when I heard this topic, I thought, yeah, Victoria. But then, holy cow, there's so much to it. And it's about, because she covers 50 years, 5 decades of Victorian nightgowns, and how it changed over time. So many things related to our lives, like the pearl button industry, big here in Iowa. Okay. You do know that in 1898, we produced 168 million pearl buttons.
In Muscatine?
Well, in Iowa. But Muscatine is the pearl button capital of the world. And so, we have that exhibit at the museum. So she talks about that industry, the woven cloth industry, and how that changed over the years, how the production of just fabric, very tough to buy at the late 19th century. And women sewed, where the fabric came from in the early days was from everything came in bags. Sugar came in bags, flour came in bags, chicken feed came in bags. And so the pioneer women would bleach the words off those bags, and they would use that to sew.
Really?
So, and she covers a lot of that. The beginning of the first sewing machines, first home sewing machines, revolutionized women's lives in this country. So she covers a lot of different topics, but uses nightgowns as a format to talk about it.
I love it. Oh, and you brought one with you.
The one that I brought is not going to be probably featured in a program, but I was so delighted to run across this.
Yeah.
This is a silk peignoir set from Saks Fifth Avenue, probably from the 1930s. But she will also talk about when the production began, manufacturing of nightgowns, because it used to be, of course, before Sears catalog, I think women in the West, here west of the Mississippi, had very little choice to buy anything. But I know, beautiful sample of silk.
It is a beautiful example, and I think it's just really neat because fashion in general is just so fun to talk about when you discuss it kind of by the decade, as she plans to do.
Yep.
You know, talking about the addition of ruffles in nightgowns.
And how everything impacts fashion, really. And politics impacts fashion. I mean, the times, the economy, and how it all plays a role. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, an amazing event. Does this, it's going to be a tea event, so you brought...
It is a tea.
You brought a teacup with you. I'm not going to touch it. It looks delicate and
Isn't
beautiful.
This fabulous?
Yeah.
This has these little pedestal that it sets on. I found this too at an estate sale.
That's fun.
But the women on Saturday will be drinking out of the finest styrofoam money can buy. We are doing it as a fundraiser for the Buffalo Bill Wild West show.
Yep.
So, but this is just an example. But I do guarantee the food will be, well, I hope. The first tea we did apple pie. I call it the All-American Apple Pie American tea.
Well, it's rhubarb season.
And so we're homemade rhubarb crisp, which is really kind of an old-fashioned recipe. So, and we'll also have gluten-free versions of this, Morgan.
Oh, wow.
I know. It would have had some
stops.
Cool Whip with it, or whipped cream, but I didn't have time.
No, that's okay. That's fine with us. It looks great.
We're leaving you some samples. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you did talk about how this benefits an event that you have coming up, which we'll get to. Talk about the Buffalo Bill Museum, though, there in LeClaire, because this event, this tea event, is going to be at the Holiday Inn Express there in LeClaire.
Exactly. Holiday Inn Express, 3 o'clock on Saturday, and you can buy tickets on our website, on our Facebook page. You can come into the museum to buy tickets. So, yeah, we're pretty excited. And the Holiday Inn has been just wonderful.
Good.
They have a beautiful conference room, so the tables are going to be set up and decorated. And
Very nice. Well, the Buffalo Bill Wild West show, which, of course, this event, you know, really benefits that show. We're going to have 2 chances to see that, actually, a Saturday and a Sunday at the end of the month, 29th and 30th, I believe.
Yep.
It's at Cody Elementary School.
And it's a beautiful grounds. And we're going to have, I think there's now 40 cowboys. We have Native Americans coming. This is actually Wayne Reddick, who is our Buffalo Bill reenactor, and he puts on a wonderful period correct program. And the stagecoach, we're going to have that stagecoach.
Really?
But there is, and it's choreographed and scripted. It's professionally choreographed. He's got a professional sound system. We're putting out as many bales of hay as we can get between now and then for people to sit on. But we are recommending you bring your own bag chair. But the kids love, I saw this show up in Manitowoc. That's where this picture is from last summer. And the kids love petting. Look at Roman riding.
That's incredible. No, that's incredible. Yeah. This seems like quite a show.
It is, and it's the biggest show they're going to do in 10 years. This has grown so... I'm amazed. I think because it's in LeClaire, and LeClaire was where Buffalo Bill was born.
They're excited about it.
We are very excited about it. So.
All the legends will be there.
Yes.
Not just Buffalo Bill. Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley's going to be there. Frank Butler, who she was married to. All the legends. And people, we're running shuttle buses from downtown LeClaire up to Cody School. So the easy, because there's very limited parking up there. So we're hoping people take the shuttle bus, which comes, it's going to do a circuit. We have 3 actual school buses. Yeah. So we can take 180 people at a time.
That'll make it nice and easy for everybody. And we we definitely want to mention too, you're going to have a country singer, local country singer.
Absolutely. Thank you for, Jordan Moore, who we're excited. She has just been nominated for the Josie Award, Rising Star.
That's amazing.
And she's from Florida, and she's in town this weekend. She has roots in LeClaire.
Awesome.
And we are delighted. She's going to be doing a pop-up concert both Saturday and Sunday morning. Her and Cale Bowie as well. We have 2 young singers.
That's great.
So if people come on the grounds early, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
There's Boomtown, there's food vendors, there's all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff to do. Okay, well, we're looking at the Facebook page right now. So the Women in History fundraiser for the museum is this Saturday from 3 to 4. Tickets are $15. You can purchase tickets to either event that we talked about online. Head to the museum's Facebook page, which you're seeing right here. Just search Buffalo Bill Museum, LeClaire, Iowa, and it'll get you where you need to go. show. Rita, thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. Here, tickets to the show.
Tickets to the show. Awesome.
Tickets to the show. I know. Look at the tickets themselves are a work of art.
They really are.
Tickets for you too, Beth. Tickets for Claire in the back. Yeah.
Tickets for Claire, tickets for everyone. Okay, make sure you go. Sounds like it's going to be a blast. And we have much more to come in our next half hour of QCL, including an important discussion about mental health and trauma in teens and young people. And later, a community event that draws thousands of visitors to Burlington, Iowa. It's marking its 57th year. We'll preview the Snake Alley Art Fair.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Young people, they can experience a fair amount of trauma, may not even realize it until later in life, but there are ways to lessen the impacts of that trauma. Here to explain is Micah R. Mills, a licensed master social worker with the Eastern Iowa Mental Health and Disability Services region. Micah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Let's talk a little bit first about what you do. You do work with children in this arena. What does that entail?
So I work for the Eastern Iowa Mental Health region, and we provide a variety of services for kids and families. So we have different kind of home visiting type therapy programs. We also have in-school based programs, therapy and med management. We have services for adults too, but what I do is I kind of work with the different programs and help them to work well. So
wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so today we're specifically talking about a helpful course. It is geared more toward children and young people. Trauma and Society, a psychoeducation course for youth. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Trauma and Society is a, as you said, psychoeducation course, and it can be taught in a couple different ways. So there's an 8-week version of the course that I teach, and the idea is to give kids an idea about what trauma is, how it impacts them, how it impacts the people around them, and some different strategies and tools for managing the effects of trauma. It's not a therapy group, it is a class that is taught to the kids, and so it's meant to be very high level. They're not expected to disclose things about their own trauma. They're there to learn kind of just on a very high level what trauma is and how to learn some skills about it.
Okay, and skills to manage the effects of trauma as well. This would be, I feel like, important for just about anybody to learn, but what a great time to do it when you're an adolescent. So one of those reactions to triggers. So they're going to learn skills to manage that.
Yeah, they learn skills about managing emotions, trigger events, and also relationships and how relationships can be impacted by trauma.
Okay, who is this for? Who is this course for?
Yeah, so a couple different categories there, but for young people who maybe have experienced a trauma event, who are not interested in therapy or are not ready for therapy, it is best to have youth who can handle talking about trauma in a safe way. Though we don't go into details about their own trauma experience, it can be triggering for youth. So we build a lot of safeguards into the course. We make sure that they're informed about what they're consenting to get into. We check in with how they're doing throughout the course so that they can participate in a healthy, safe way.
Okay, wow. So, and then when they complete the course, you guys are going to set some goals for the future. This surrounds 8 positive life outcomes for young adults, which is a lot of goals. We won't make you go through every single one of them, but let's talk about a few of them. The very first one on the list here on your screen, educational attainment. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the idea behind these goals is really these are indicators of positive life outcomes. So this is indicators that you're a successful young person. When it comes to things like educational attainment, we're talking about how they're doing in school currently, what their goals for education are, how it relates to their future, and that kind of thing.
Okay. Residential independence, so this is kind of being able to, get out on your own?
Yeah, so we talk a little bit about budgeting and jobs and maintaining that kind of thing. This is geared towards the older teenagers and young adults, so they're right at that transitional age.
Okay, and one that I found interesting was interpersonal functioning. They're kind of in the middle of the list. The reason why I thought it was interesting is because I think we've had a rough few years, especially for adolescents or for kids that were kind of taken out of school for a lengthy period of time and have been just glued to social media and I think that's a big one for right now.
Yeah. The kids, especially if they've experienced any kind of trauma event, can have a lot of interpersonal reactivity. They can be really sensitive to the behaviors of their peers and very hypervigilant in regards to how they react to different things. So we talk about, you know, relationships in terms of how you get to know a person. How do you identify red flags, green flags? How do you know how a person is safe, and how do you maintain a healthy relationship with somebody?
Okay, so how can we sign up or sign a loved one up for this course?
Yeah, so if you're interested, I do teach the class as an individual in a tutoring method if they're interested in learning in that way, or we can do it as a group. And so anybody interested can reach out to me personally, and I do adjust based on the schedule of the people who are interested. We can also do in-person or virtual. Those are both options as well.
Okay, wow. And then if others want to teach this curriculum, are there ways for them to do that?
Yeah, so the book is written by Dr. Julia Singh and Marin Singh, and they actually, it's a very structured sort of course, so there's a way to teach it properly to make sure that you're doing it to fidelity. Okay. So they do have a trained course where you can learn to teach and kind of get the skills for that.
I just don't, it would be a great thing for anybody to learn, what it seems like. Okay, well, for more information on the resources available through Eastern Iowa Mental Health, you're going to want to visit them on the web. We have that web address on your screen, easterniowamhds.org. They also provide a 24-hour crisis line. We do like to remind people of that, and the number is 855-581-8111. Micah, thank you for talking with us today. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, coming up on Quad Cities Live, the Snake Alley Art Fair in Burlington brings thousands to the area. Why you should join all those art lovers. Coming up tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, kicking off the Figge Art Museum's Pride film series, we'll sit down with the director of a film being shown this week.
And you have a unique opportunity this weekend to watch some old-fashioned baseball. Yes, that's 2 words, baseball. We'll preview the 1858 exhibition match happening on the grounds of the John Deere Historic Site in Grand Detour, Illinois. That and much more tomorrow on QCO.
And next Sunday, June 16th, will mark the 57th annual Snake Alley Art Fair in downtown Burlington, Iowa.
Yeah, here with a preview of this long-standing community event are Elizabeth Pappas and Hillary Fritz Boner from the Art Center of Burlington. Ladies, thank you both for joining us today.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Elizabeth, before we get into the actual art fair, we want to talk about what you do at your nonprofit organization. Pretty important work.
Yes, so the Art Center of Burlington, we are a nonprofit community art center in the heart of beautiful downtown Burlington, Iowa, and we provide art classes, accessible access to the arts in our community, and we also provide a space for our incredibly large arts community to showcase their work, sell their artwork, and be involved in a lot of events. Lots and lots of events.
Yes, a whole ton of events.
Including this one.
Yes, this is the biggest.
This is the big one
for you. Again, it's been around, this will be its 57th year, which is amazing for the Snake Alley Art Fair. So obviously it has been around for a long time. As you understand it, what was the initial goal in creating this event?
It's a way to, we're very fortunate we have an incredible arts community, but this also draws artists from not only just the Midwest, but beyond. And it's a community event. This is held on Father's Day. It's always been held on Father's Day, and it's a way for our community to see various forms of art in numerous mediums and shop artwork. It's a day to celebrate community, be together, enjoy good food, live music, and also the setting is spectacular. It's in historic Heritage Hill, right at the top of Snake Alley, and just wander the beautiful streets of our beautiful downtown and celebrate art, which is our favorite thing. So
it did start on the Snake Alley. Like they set up snow fence, and then artists would just line up their art, like their paintings on there, and then I don't know, probably like 15 years ago, I think, like we moved it mostly up to the top, and so it's in like a neighborhood, residential area,
very pretty,
historic district, and it's tree lined and just really pretty.
And we're looking at a video from one of the past art fairs, and now you can see several vendors out there, and we saw an old photo from 1969 where you saw the Snake Alley. Very cool. So talk about how this has grown each and every year. I mean, you've got 57 years, and like you, I mean, art, we know here in the Quad Cities it's a huge thing, but any metro area you go to, I mean, art just gets bigger bigger and bigger each and every year.
Yes. So we've had historic, the last 2 years, we've had record number submissions of artists.
Wow.
So this is juried. And the staff and I, we spend a lot of time thinking about making sure that we have a nice, diverse array of mediums. So photography, ceramics, woodworking, painting, you name it. And also making sure that we have a variety of price points. You know, this is something that we get thousands and thousands of people, not just in our community, but outside communities that come, and we want to make sure that we're giving people a nice array of this incredible picture of our arts community. So it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Wonderful staff, and we really spend a lot of thoughtful time thinking about what people are going to experience when they come. And we have food vendors and live music, and we have over 60 artists. And then on actual Snake Alley now, over the years, we've expanded so much that now the actual Snake Alley is home to over 15 emerging artists. So these are artists that are just getting their feet wet in the art fair world. We have a lot of young student artists as well, and these artists sell their artwork. We don't take any commissions on this. This is just
a great opportunity for them.
So make sure if you come to the fair to go on actual Snake Alley and support these young, talented artists and view their incredible
Absolutely.
work.
And Hillary, this is a really unique opportunity for attendees as well, because they get a chance to speak to the artist about their work.
Right. That's the exciting thing about this, I think. It's interesting to meet the artists and learn their story, their techniques, and how they create their artwork. It's just a really unique opportunity. I mean, you don't get it very often. Burlington, you know, it's a kind of a smaller community, but it's great that we have this, that we can offer it to the community.
It's a special experience.
And it is free too, free to attend. So
Oh wow.
Free to attend. And you know, we were just talking about Snake Alley, where this festival or this fair was originally, but I mean, it's a historic place known worldwide. Talk a little bit about it.
The neighborhood and the
Snake Alley.
Snake Alley, the
yeah.
crookedest street in the world.
We're looking at that
There it is
photo
again,
from 1969
It's
again.
beautiful, and you got to give credit to the artists that set up on Snake Alley, because we're talking cobblestones. You're at an angle, but they are committed, and they have a great attitude, and it's just so fun to watch all of these people come and travel down and see. You know, we have every type of medium on the alley.
Good balance. Good balance.
We get our workout, because I go up and down that all day long.
And quickly, you do select a local artist every year that will paint it, and so that's what we're seeing here. Just incredibly beautiful. So it's on the merchandise and things that people can buy, and the posters and everything.
Yes.
That's really special.
So every year we select an artist, and we ask them to come up with this year's design. So this year is artist Rebecca Vorkapich. She's a local artist, and she created an original painting that we also will have for sale at the top of Snake Alley. And this was her celebration of the fair. She captured some well-known artists in our area. If you're from Burlington, you know whose artist this work is. And it's featured on our T-shirts and posters.
Wonderful. Thank you. And then we just had the website up there for everybody. Hillary and Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching.